Is Warcraft worthy of this t-shirt? The answer is no, because no movie is worthy of this t-shirt, except for Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is worthy of this t-shirt. Warcraft stars Travis Fimmel, Toby Kebbell, and is directed by Duncan Jones. First off, let me say, guys, I know nothing about World of Warcraft. I don't play the game. My son actually plays the game. And so I know a little bit about the world itself, and I've always found that really interesting. And I know that they've been planning a movie for Warcraft for years now. And I've even seen some of the cinematic trailers for like Wrath of the Lich King, which was really cool. And I remember seeing that cinematic trailer and saying, wow, if they actually did a movie for this, I'd want to watch it. Because, you know, it's fantasy. It's kind of got that whole Lord of the Rings type thing going. Maybe a little bit of Highlander. So there is an interesting premise there. So finally the movie's here. Does it live up to the hype? Let's talk about it. Now I'm going to say, if you've never played the game and you go into this movie, you might be a little lost as to really what's going on. I mean, there is a basic premise, and the basic premise is that there's a dying world of the orcs, and they are trying to conquer Azeroth, which is inhabited by the humans. But there's a lot of stuff going on around that, and some of that can get convoluted, and that's one of my problems with the movie, but we'll get into that. But first off, let me just say, there are things that I found interesting in this movie, especially the orcs. To me, I really could have just watched a movie about the orcs and been fine with this. The first orc we see in this movie is Duratan, played by Toby Kebbell. He really just wants to take care of his family. He's a warrior, but you know, his world is dying and he's trying to get his wife and his newborn baby. She's actually pregnant at the beginning of the movie, so she actually has the baby during the movie, and he really wants to just protect them. But the two orcs I found the most interesting and really badass are Blackhand and Gul'dan. And Blackhand is played by one of my favorite character actors, Clancy Brown, who was also in Highlander. And I thought Clancy Brown was the perfect guy to play this part. He just has that really recognizable voice, you know, that deep, that sinister voice. And I believe he even plays some of the voices in the DC Comics cartoons. And really, Blackhand, he is a badass looking character, you know, just physically. He's just an interesting character to look at. And perhaps even more interesting is Gul'dan. He's more of a wizard type orc, and his motivations seem a bit more sinister. Now let's get into the problems that I've found with Warcraft, and it's a big problem. To me, it's the humans. I did not care about any of the humans in this movie, and that can have a ripple effect, because if you don't care about the humans, then you don't really care about the story. Travis Fimmel plays Lothar. You guys might know him from Vikings, and that's a really cool show. I like him in that show. But he seems to keep that same accent. I don't know, I guess we could call it like a savage accent, because I don't really know what accent it is, but he does the same accent in this movie that he does in Vikings, and I expected him to do something a little different. And I'd say out of all the humans, he's probably the best, but he's not really that good. So you can kind of see where I'm getting at. And then also Ben Foster is one of my favorite actors working today. He's one of those actors that by now I thought he would be huge, because he can really hold his own against like heavyweights like Leonardo DiCaprio. I actually loved him in 30 Days of Night and also Lone Survivor, but he's just one of those actors that really sinks his teeth into any part that he's in, and you can become fixated on whatever he's playing. But in this movie, I really thought he was just wasted. I think they should have maybe went with an older Ian McKellen type person for this role. And really, a lot of it, I didn't understand what was going on with his character. And the humans do take up a large portion of this movie, maybe most of it. I think if you play the game, you will probably like this movie more than I did, but I wanted to really enjoy this. So for that, I'm gonna give it a 2 hours lost. What did you guys think of Warcraft? Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe to Drumdums, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, and Drumdum out.